Hey there, folks! Do you ever notice how this guy gets boring after a while? Well, today, we're going to be fixing that by experimenting with replacing the wizard. We've got two mods to look at. Both do the same job. They replace the wizard with a dateable NPC that you can eventually marry. The Harvest Goddess and Razolyn the Magnificent. We're going to be starting with the Harvest Goddess. Now, just like the wizard, if you want to interact with these NPCs, you've got to first see the community center cutscene, and then you've got to read the golden scroll. Then you get a letter from the new wizard. In this case, it's the Harvest Goddess.
The spirits tell me you've been poking around inside the old community center. Why don't you pay me a visit, dear? Come to the stone tower, west of the forest lake. I may know a thing or two about your little rat problem. Hee hee. H. Goddess.
Now, both of these NPCs are going to be taking over the duties of the wizard, so you're going to go through the motions, seeing all the usual cutscenes. The Harvest Goddess has slight variations in what the wizard does. She's more natural. She uses natural spells of her own ability to get the job done, as opposed to making you drink from the cauldron. She's generally quite light and airy and quite nice to deal with. Now, as soon as you hit one heart level with the Harvest Goddess, she'll begin her schedule, which largely consists of her moving around the woods and standing in various places, so she's already a lot more active than the wizard. On a Saturday, the Harvest Goddess can actually grant you wishes.
Hello, dear. I'm in a good mood today. Would you like to make a wish?
I wish for fortune, of course. Whoa, she gave me a treasure chest.
Here you are, dear.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, those chests go for a lot of money. You're one bang-up dame, you know that? I'm really impressed. The Harvest Goddess's 2-heart event happens in the woods after 9 a.m., and it actually pads out a lot of the backstory behind why the Harvest Goddess is actually here.
You must have thought that I lived in the stone tower since I called you there the first time we met. In truth, I'm just a guest. You see, a friend used to live there. He was quite a talented wizard. He suddenly left for official magi business, and I haven't seen him since.
There you have it, some really good background information on why she's actually here, so she blends in quite nicely with the actual lore of Stardew Valley. The Harvest Goddess's 4-heart event happens inside the tower when it's raining. And immediately the next day, she turns up your house for the second part of the 4-heart event. You received honey.
The bees were so kind to present me the fruits of their labor, so I thought I'd share some with you. I'll be going now. Have a nice day, dear.
Oh, by the way, this is my little, home away from home on a new save file. This is my little Joja outpost provided by head office. They want me to be more family-friendly, or they're going to fire me, and probably have me killed. The Harvest Goddess's 6th-heart event happens in the woods once again. This time, we're treated to more information as to what's going on with the Harvest Goddess, because you'd think the townspeople would be a little freaked out if there was a living deity walking around in the woods, but the mod creators got you covered with backstory for this as well, as apparently only certain kinds of people can actually see her true form. Most of the time, she just appears to be an ordinary person to everybody else. It kind of goes hand in hand with your ability to see the Junimos and communicate with the Junimos.
I was just having a pleasant chat, but it seems they ran off after seeing you.
Yeah, I generally have that effect on Junimos. They know to avoid me.
You didn't do anything to agitate them, did you?
Does stabbing a magic Junimo pet count? Now, the Harvest Goddess's 7-heart event has an interesting requirement. You have to have 1 heart with every bachelor and bachelorette in town, because this cutscene is about the goddess's ability to grant wishes on a Saturday. Quite rightly, you have to be in the woods on a Saturday when she's granting wishes. This heart event expands upon the existing wish mechanic by giving you a new wish option, which is to basically increase your relationship with any of the bachelors or bachelorettes in town. But you can also pick the Harvest Goddess, which is kind of the obvious choice if you want to move the relationship along a bit quicker. And finally, her 10-heart event is in the Secret Woods, a very fitting place for a cutscene. It's here that you're given the option to learn about the Harvest Goddess's secret name, because apparently her kind all have secret names. Her true name is Lunty. Okay, so let's give her a bouquet.
I'll accept this. Thank you.
And let's see if she wants to get married.
I accept.
3 days and all that stuff. So here we are, in our Joja-provided accommodation with the Harvest Wizard to explore what married life is like with a deity.
A goddess has work to do, even a married one.
Well, it looks like she's gonna have a schedule and whatnot, so that's pretty good. Wow, look at this. This is really impressive. It's probably one of the best spouse rooms I've ever seen. You got like a kind of a mini greenhouse going on here. Oh, and incidentally, this texture mod here that replaces the kitchen is called Ellie's Kitchen Replacement Mod. I use Ellie's textures for Joja Farms buildings too, to get that lovely blue effect that I got going on. Now here's a nice little thing you could do. There was a suggestion that you could shorten the Harvest Goddess's name to Goddess if you wanted to, so I went into the configuration file and actually changed her name to her true name, which is much less of a mouthful, so yeah, there we go. Lunty has her name in the game. Oh, and now that you're married to the Harvest Goddess, you get the convenience of having her wishes take place in the house, which means you can get yourself a nice fat treasure chest every Saturday. So yeah, that's the Harvest Goddess. Very wholesome, very down to earth, and she fits in really well. Okay, and with that, we're moving on to Razolyn, who's kind of the opposite of everything that I just said about the Harvest Goddess.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. I am Razolyn the Magnificent, Mistress of Magical Forces, Fulcrum of the Elements, Scholar of the Secrets of Grayskull, Obtainer of Goods, Taker of Lives, and Defiler of... Wait, that wasn't right.
She's a very interesting character with a very raunchy, quirky sense of humor. And as you can see, she's wearing some sort of lace bikini type thing. Things begin to take a turn when you suddenly realize that Razolyn's very interested in Abigail. And this is because, quite surprisingly, all of her heart events deal with the wizard's ambiguous backstory. The backstory involving him being her actual parent. Except, it is revealed to you that Razolyn and Caroline had a love affair, and together they conceived Abigail. Yes, I know, I was as confused as you are when I found out about this. Last time I checked, one woman plus another woman did not equal a third woman. There usually has to be a man involved. Now, I'm sure there's some deeply adult reason as to how this all works, but I am not gonna go there. You can find Razolyn actually contemplating trying to meet her daughter at some point, in one of her hot events, which is kind of neat. You can imagine the wizard doing this. It's just kind of odd that this person's doing it. Things get even weirder later on when you marry Razolyn, because Lewis decides to say, "I now pronounce you husband and, well, husband." And then when you get her home, she starts referring to you as her wife. Never in my life did I believe a young lady like you would ever fall in love with me. So, yeah, it's almost as if this mod was intended for a female farmer. You know, a female farmer who was looking to, have a good time with an extremely potent lady wizard who can give you babies. Does that mean I'm gonna get pregnant? Does she just have the power to make people pregnant? What's going on? Razolyn has a detailed spouse room. She has lots of detailed dialogue. And she got me pregnant. Mega pregnant. Extremely pregnant. Oh well, there you have it. 2 different ways to, replace the wizard with very different kinds of NPCs. Take your pick. It kind of represents something for everybody, I think.
But what about me?
What?
I think the ladies would love me. It's me, the sexy anime wizard. Sexy anime wizard!
Oh, come on! Isn't it enough that I'm pregnant? Jeez. Thank you for watching this video. Quick shout out to everybody who subbed to get us over 1,000 subs. And welcome aboard to everybody else who's subscribed since then. Hold on tight for the rest of the adventure, folks. There's going to be a hell of a lot more crazy shenanigans down the road.